Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betkraft. Okay, today is another beautiful Saturday morning. Lots of games going on across the globe, and as we know, and amongst these many that's going on, we were able to select a few that we had our in-depth analysis made on these very few before bringing it forward for you. All right, and in a short while, we'll be looking at this matches one after the other. We'll be looking at how they fared from home and away, and also, from the recent games for both sides, and we'll also come up with our verdict for each of these very games. And I want to ask the folks who are coming across our video for the first time to kindly take out time to hit the subscription button down there so that you won't be missing out on our daily games that will always come up on this very channel. Okay, hope you've done that. All right. Okay, without further ado, let's get to the business of today, and we'll be starting with the very first match. It is in the Bundesliga where we'll have Union Berlin who will be up against Borussia Dortmund. Okay, looking at the recent games for Union Berlin, the home side, they've actually had 3 wins in the last 6 games. I know they've had 2 draws as well as 1 loss. And away side also, Borussia Dortmund have won 4 games out of the past 6. They've had 1 draw, but also they've lost 1 game in the last 6 matches for Borussia Dortmund, the away side. And looking at how this teams fared, from home and away perspective, Union Berlin have won 4 games from home. They've lost 4 as well, and they've had 2 draws out of the last 10 home games that they had. And away side, Borussia Dortmund have won 4 games from away, as also drawing 2 and losing 4 games in the last, the last 10 away games for Borussia Dortmund. Okay, but when you look closely, the last, 2 away games for Borussia Dortmund, have seen them, they have achieving a scoreline that's actually, over 2.5. We saw them playing out a 3-0 victory against Club Brugge, and also losing out to Stuttgart by 5 goals to 1. And each of those matches produced lots of goals, and so many other ones also amongst the last 4 games that they played. And we also saw, the home side, Union Berlin producing lots of goals out of the past 10. Home games. They've actually seen over 2.5 on 7 occasions out of the past 10, home games for the home side. So it is a likely occurrence in this very one. A lot of goals in this very encounter. We also saw, the last match where they played Dortmund. They lost that match by 2 goals to 0 to Dortmund. And all right, in this very one, we really do expect to see, Dortmund side, their away side, achieving a result in this very game, and it is a away win. That's our verdict for this very encounter. Okay, and that takes us to the next for today, and it is in French League 1, where we have Rennes who will be up against Monaco FC, and Rennes have actually won 2 games in the last 6, and they've also lost 3. And they've had 1 draw in the last 6 games that they had. While Monaco, their away side, have won 4 games out of the past 6 games. And we saw Monaco doing very well. And they've also had 2 draws in the last 6 matches that they had. And looking at how they fared from home and away perspective, you can see that the home side, Rennes, have won 5 games from home. They've also had 4 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 10 home games that they had. Also, they're doing well at the moment, if you ask me. And also, Monaco, the High Flyers, also are doing very, very well. They have actually won 6 games in the last 10 away games. Have drawn 2 out of it, and also they've lost 2 out of the last 10 away games that they played out so far. And that tells you a lot about these 2 teams. And when you look closely at Monaco, you see that the last 10 away games that they played out so far have seen them scoring a minimum of 2 goals. In all the matches they played from away, the last 10 away games, they've always scored more than 1 goals. And when you look at Rennes also, they've been scoring, and some of those the last 10 home games that they had, also they've been able to score more than 1 goal on 6 occasions out of those 10, and the other 4 being 1 goal. So that tells you that they definitely will score, especially when they're playing from home. But Monaco FC will score a minimum of 2 goals while playing from away. And the last time they met, we saw Monaco defeating this side by 1 goal to 0. That was in April this year. But out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings for both sides, 7 out of those, 8 out of those meetings actually produced lots of goals over 2.5. So in this very encounter, we'll expect it to see a minimum of over 2.5, 3 goals appearing in this very one. Over 2.5, that's a party for that very game. All right, that takes us to the next, and it is in Turkish Super League. We'll have Istanbul Basaksehir, who will be up against Carrick. And looking at the recent games for both sides, you see that the home side, Basaksehir, Basaksehir, the home side, have actually won 4 games in the last 6 and they've also had 2 losses as well. And when we look at their away side, Sport, they've had 3 draws, but they've lost 3 games in the last 6 recent encounters for away side Sport. And looking at how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective, playing from home, the home side Basaksehir have actually managed to achieve a 7th victory in the last 10 home games that they had. They've also lost 2 games out of it, but and also 1 draw. That tells you that 70% of the home matches for the home side have actually resulted to win. And when you look at their away side, Sport have actually managed only just 2 wins in the last 10 away games. They've also had 3 draws as well, but have lost 5 games in the last 10 away games that they have so far. When you put that all together, you see that the home side is actually far more likely to pick up the spoils in this very one, and we do expect to see a home win appearing in this very one. So we expect Istanbul Basaksehir to win out shortly in this very one. So it is on win. That's our verdict. And that takes us to the next. And the next is in Northern Ireland Premiership. We'll have Carrick Rangers who will be up against Cliftonville. Okay, Carrick Rangers in the last 6 games that they have so far have lost the entire 6 games. They've not been able to win a single match. They've not had any draw. They've lost all the games. And their way side, on the other hand, Cliftonville have won 2 games, 1 draw, but they've lost 3 out of the last 6 recent encounters. All right, bringing it down to how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective. You can see playing from home, Carrick Rangers have managed to win 3 games in the last 10 home games. They've also had 1 draw, but have lost 6 games out of the past 10 home games. As a matter of fact, the last 4 home games that they had saw them losing all 4 home games. All right, and looking at their way side, on the other hand, Cliftonville playing from away have been able to manage to achieve 4 wins from away. They've also had 2 draws as well as 4 losses in the last 10 away games. When you compare both sides, you see that the away side is actually having a better record, seeing that they've won 40% of the away games that they have so far. And the last time they met was in January this year. It was Cliftonville who played from away on that occasion. We saw them defeating Carrick Rangers by 1-0. And prior to that, in November, also Cliftonville, were able to achieve victory against this side. Defeating them by 3-0 also from away on that occasion. That tells you that the away side is quite better, much better in terms of performance and quality for between these 2. So we do expect to see our away side winning this match out shortly. So it is a away win. That's our party for that very encounter. All right, that takes us to the next, which happened to be the last for the day, and it is in Russia Premier League, where we have Zenit St. Petersburg who will be up against Orenburg. Okay, when you look at Zenit, the home side, they've actually won 5 games out of the last 6, losing 1. And Orenburg, on the other hand, have had 2 draws, but have lost 4 out of the past 6 recent games that they had. And looking at how these 2 teams perform from home and away perspective, you can see that Zenit St. Petersburg, actually a very big side in Russia, have actually won 8 games in the last 10 home games that they had so far. They've actually lost 1, and which was actually in a European match, not a league game, which also had a draw with Spartak Moscow. All right, and that shows that they've won 80% of the home matches that they played so far and losing just 1. And the away side, on the other hand, Orenburg have managed just 1 win from away, but they've also lost 7 games out of the past 10 away games, drawing the other 2. That tells you that when you put those 2 together, you see that the home side, Zenit St. Petersburg, is actually quite the better side in this very encounter. Also looking at the last time they met on head-to-head perspective, you can see that Zenit was the side with the victory the last time both teams met. We saw Zenit defeating the side by 1-0. And when you look at the situation for the last 10 home game, for the last 10 meetings for both sides, it has always been Zenit St. Petersburg who have had the upper hand against this side, winning on 8 occasions out of the past 10 meetings for both sides. And the other one being a draw, and also Orenburg winning just on 1 occasion. And when we put all that together, you know that the home side is actually expected to rise to the occasion and win this very tight, easily. The home side winning outright, that's our verdict for that very game. Okay, and that brings our predictions for you today on Betkraft to a conclusion. I wish you very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green once again. And remember also to play responsibly. These are football games, all right? You can decide to split these games. You can decide to play each one on a separate ticket. Anything can happen in football. All right, there's no absolute in football. There's no guarantee for anything. All right, that being said, there are all risks in everything that we do, but let's try to minimize the risk and then by playing responsibly. All right, tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming with our predictions on this very channel. But until then, keep winning.